Hello everyone, I am Sneha, Assistant Professor of ECE in Siddhartha Academy of Higher Education, deemed to be University. Let us discuss about control statements in Python. So, first, what is a control statement? Control statements are statements which control or change the flow of execution. They allow to make decisions, repeat code blocks, and after normal sequence flow of the program. So the types of control statements available in Python are if else, if else, while, for, break, continue, pass, assert, and return. Let us just see about individual statements. So if statement. So this is the simplest conditional statement that executes a block of code only if a condition is true. If else statement. It extends the if statement by providing an alternative block to execute when the condition is false. Next, if elif else statement. It handles multiple conditions sequentially. The first true conditions block executes and the rest are skipped. Next, fourth one, while loop. It repeats a block of code as long as a condition remains true. Next, for loop. I, it iterates over a sequence. That sequence can be a list, tuple, a string, anything. Break statement. It immediately terminates the current loop and continues execution after the loop. Continue statement. It skips the rest of the current loop iteration and moves to the next iteration. Pass statement. A null operation does nothing. It does nothing. Used as a placeholder where syntax requires a statement but no action is needed. Next, assert. Used for debugging to check if a condition is true. Raises an assertion error if false. Next, return. It exits a function and optionally returns a value to the caller. Can appear anywhere in the function body. Let us, we have seen definitions of different types of control statements. Let us see them once again along with the syntax and a sample example. First one is if statement. This statement is used to execute one or more statement depending upon whether a condition is true or not. If statement is a fundamental control structure that allows your program to make decisions. It executes a block of code only when a specific condition evaluates to true. So the syntax is if space condition and it should end with a colon, and the next line should be statements. So here if is nothing but it starts the conditional statement. Condition is nothing but an expression that evaluates to either true or false. Colon. It ends the condition line and starts the block. So see the example. There we have taken a number is equal to 1. If number double equal to 1, print 1. So here variable number num is assigned a value of 1. If statement checks if number is double equal to 1. Since this condition is true, Python executes the block. It executes the block print 1. So the output will be 1. Next is if else statement. So this statement executes a group of statements when a condition is true, otherwise it will execute the else statement. So as you can see the syntax there. So if condition statement executes when condition is true. Next else statements, it executes when the condition is false. See the syntax, first line, see the first line. X equal to int of input of enter value. X is a variable in which we are storing the value. Int is used to convert the input string to an integer stored in X. Input of enter the value means the program prompts user to enter a value. So after executing this first line, it will ask the user to enter a value. We are entering a value, so that value will be converted into an integer. Okay. Next, second line, if x divided by 2 double equal to 0. So the meaning of this line is it checks if x is divisible by 2 or not. X divided by 2, that divided by that symbol is called as a modulo operator, which gives remainder of a division. So next print statement, it if it is true it prints even, else if false it prints odd. Next, if elif statement, it is a control structure that allows your program to check multiple conditions in sequence and execute different code blocks based on which condition is true. See the syntax. First, there is a if condition followed by statements. Next, there are two elif conditions followed by statements, and last, there is an there is an else condition followed by a statement. So here, first line if condition, we are taking if condition to check. Next two elif conditions are those are called as subsequent conditions to test if previous ones were false. Next, else one, else condition. Finally, all if no conditions were true. And colon, as you observe, we are ending each condition with a colon. It is required after each condition. See the example. First line, num is assigned a value of 5. In second line, if condition, first checks if number is double equal to 0, 5 is not equal to, I mean 5 equal to 0. Is it true or false? False. Then checks if number less than 0. 5 is less than 0? No. False. Since neither was true, it executes else block. It is not a 0. The value stored in num is not a 0. It is not a negative number. So the else condition will be executed. Next, while loop. A while loop is a control structure that repeats a block of code as long as a given condition remains true. It is useful when you need to execute statements multiple times until a certain condition is met. So see the syntax, while condition followed by statements. While is it starts the loop. Statements, if true, loop body executes, if false, loop stops. And as you all know, colon, it ends the condition line and starts the loop body. See the example. First line, value 1 is stored in x. Second line, while x less than or equal to 10, it checks if x is less than or equal to 10. If true, executes loop body. If false, loop stops. Print x. Next again, if the condition is false, x value is incremented by 1. Again, the same process repeats until you get the output. Next, for loop. A for loop is a control structure used to iterate over elements in a sequence. It executes a block of code for each item in sequence. Syntax. For variable in sequence, variable. So here temporary variable is nothing but it is a temporary variable that takes each value from the sequence. Variable in is used specifically sequence, it is a sequence to iterate over. Next, see the example, string is equal to hello followed by for loop. So this means that loop takes the string hello as a sequence, ch is assigned to the next character. The loop automatically stops when all the elements are processed. Break statement. The break statement can be used inside a for loop or while loop to come out of the loop. When break is executed, the Python interpreter jumps out of the loop to process the next statement in the program. So it works in both for and while loops, immediately terminates the entire loop, often used with if condition to exit based on a condition. See the example: x equal to 0 while x less than or equal to 10. While loop runs until x less than or equal to 10. Next, print x if x double equal to 5. Checks if x equal to 5. If this condition is true, break executes and loop terminates. Break condition executes and the loop terminates. If the condition is false, x is incremented to the next value and the loop continues. Next, the continue statement. The continue statement is used within loop to skip some part of the current iteration and move into the next iteration. See the syntax. This syntax works in both for while and for loops. It skips only the current iteration, often used to exclude specific cases. See the example: if x equal to 0, loop runs until x less than or equal to 0. X increments first. If x equal to 5, it continue executing the rest of the loop. Otherwise, prints executes normally. Pass statement. The pass statement does not do anything. It is used with if statement or inside the loop to represent no operation. We use pass statement when we need a separate statement syntactically, but we do not want to do any operation. Next, assert. Assert statement is useful to check if a particular condition is fulfilled or not. See the example: we are entering a value in x and finally that will be converted into an integer because we are taking their x equal to integer of input of some value. So if input is 5, it prints. If input is -1 or some any other number, it shows an error. Last one is return statement. A return statement is used to end the execution of the function call and return the result. See the syntax. This syntax can here no code in function runs after the return, can return any type of data. If omitted, function returns none. See the example: define cube of x, r is equal to x into 3, which means x power 3, return r. So x is assigned as 3, r becomes 3 into 3, means 3 power 3. 3 power 3 is nothing but 27, returns r, sends 27 back to the caller.